Hello friends, welcome to C Programming video tutorials series. From the past few video tutorials, we are trying to understand control statements in C. We know that control statements help us to get the control over the flow of execution of a code. Control statements help us to get the control over flow of execution of a code. There are three types of control statements. They are conditional or selection statements, looping or iterative statements, jumping or control transfer statements. In the previous video tutorials, we understood conditional or selection statements. From this video tutorial onwards, for the next few video tutorials, I would like to discuss looping or iterative statements. Looping or iterative statements execute set of statements repeatedly. To execute one or more statements repeatedly, we take help of looping or iterative statements, guys. To execute one or more statements repeatedly again and again, we take help of looping or iterative statements. For loop, while loop and do while loop are considered as looping or iterative statements. In this video tutorial, I would like to discuss the for loop. Computer executes body of the for loop as long as the given conditional expression evaluates to true. Computer executes body of the for loop as long as the given conditional expression evaluates to true. If the given conditional expression evaluates to false, then it terminates the loop, guys. This is the syntax of the for loop, guys. We write the for keyword. In pair of parentheses, we write initialization statements. Then we write a conditional expression, then we write increment or decrement statements. In pair of flower brackets, we write set of statements to be executed. This part of the for loop is called as head of the for loop. This part of the for loop is called as body of the for loop, guys. Where initialization part is a place where we initialize one or more counter variables. Conditional expression part is a place where we write a conditional expression which determines whether the body of the for loop is executed or terminated. Increment or decrement part is a place where we increment or decrement initialized counter variables, guys. Let's understand how the for loop is executed. We are going to understand the flow of execution of the for loop. Remember that the for loop has four parts, guys. The first part is the initialization part. Second part is the conditional expression part, and the third part is the body of the for loop, guys. And the fourth part is increment or decrement part. How the for loop is executed? When control comes to the for loop, it executes the initialization part first. After executing the initialization part, control goes to the second part, that is conditional expression part. It checks whether the condition is true or false. If the given conditional expression evaluates to true, then control executes the third part, that is the statements inside the for loop body are executed. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part. It executes the fourth part. After executing the fourth part, control goes back to the second part, checks the condition whether it is true or false. If the given conditional expression evaluates to true, it executes the third part and goes to the fourth part and executes it. After executing the fourth part, it goes back to the conditional expression. If the conditional expression evaluates to true, it executes the body. Otherwise, it terminates the for loop. It comes out of the for loop and executes any below statements. So you must and should remember, at any time the given conditional expression evaluates to false, then the control comes outside of the for loop and executes any below statements. You must and should remember this flow of execution of the for loop, guys. First, initialization statement is executed, and then the second part, that is conditional expression, is evaluated. If it evaluates to true, then the third part is executed, then fourth part is executed. After executing the fourth part, control goes back to the second part, checks the condition whether it is true. If it is true, it executes the third part, then it executes the fourth part, control goes back to the second part. At any time the conditional expression evaluates to false, then what happens? Control comes outside of the for loop and executes any below statements, guys. So that is the flow of execution of the for loop. You must and should remember this, guys. Let's proceed further and get more information. To understand for loop, we are going to write a program to display hello world 5 times using for loop. We write a program to display hello world 5 times using for loop. You can see that I have written a code to display hello world 5 times. Let me explain how this code is going to be executed. We already know the flow of execution of the for loop. Okay. Of course, this is the first part. Remember that. This is the second part. Remember that. This is the third part. Remember that. And this is the fourth part. You should remember, guys. Now, when control comes here, it allocates 4 bytes of memory location. To that memory location, it gives a name counter, puts the initial value inside it 0. Let's assume the address of counter variable is #1. Then what happens? Control comes to for loop. When it comes to the for loop, we know that first initialization statement is going to be executed. Counter is reinitialized to 0, guys. Then it goes to the second part, checks whether counter is less than 5. 0 less than 5 is true. As the conditional expression evaluates to true, it executes the third part, that is the body of the for loop is executed. Printf displays hello world once. Hello world is going to be displayed, guys. Then \n moves the cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, we know that control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. We know that counter plus plus means it increments the counter variable value by 1. At present it is 0. It is going to become 1, guys. And after executing the fourth part, control goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 1 less than 5 is true. As it is true, it executes once again the body of the for loop. Hello world is displayed by the printf and moves the cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part. It increments the counter variable value by 1. Counter becomes 2. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 2 less than 5 is true. It executes the third part, displays hello world once again. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. Counter variable value is incremented by 1. It is at present 2. It becomes 3, guys. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 3 less than 5 is true. As the condition is true, it executes the third part, printf displays hello world and moves the cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. Counter variable value is incremented by 1. It is 3. It's going to become 4, guys. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 4 less than 5 is true. As the condition evaluates to true, it executes the third part, printf displays hello world and moves the cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. Now the counter value becomes 5, guys. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 5 less than 5 is false, guys, because 5 is equal to 5. 5 less than 5 is false. What happens now? The control comes outside of the for loop and executes any below statements. Let's see that we are going to write a program in code block. I'm going to minimize the MS Paint. I minimize the Word. I double click on code blocks icon to launch the code blocks IDE. You can see that code blocks IDE is launched. I'm going to create one new project. I say file, new project. I select here projects, say console application, say go. Then I say next. I select C language. I say next. Then I give the project name for loop demo. Then I say next, say finish. You can see that for loop demo project is created. I click on the plus sign. I double click on main.c to open it. You can see that main.c file is open. I'm going to delete this line of code which is not necessary. I delete this line of code which is not necessary. Here I say int counter is equal to 0. Then I say for opening for bracket, closing for bracket. Here I say counter equal to 0 semicolon. You can see that I'm initializing the counter variable with the value 0. We are going to use this variable to count how many number of times the loop body is executed. Initially, the loop body is executed 0 times. To indicate that, we are saying here counter equal to 0. Then I say counter less than 5. We are going to write a conditional expression. We are checking whether counter is less than 5. Of course, 0 less than 5 is true. Here I say printf, in double quotations I say hello world, and then I say \n semicolon. This printf displays hello world and moves the cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part. So here I say counter plus plus. We have to increment, right? It becomes 1. Checks 1 less than 5 is true. It displays once again hello world. Then it becomes 2. 2 less than 5 is true. It displays hello world. Then it becomes 3. 3 less than 5 is true. It displays hello world. It becomes 4. 4 less than 5 is true. It displays hello world. Becomes 5. 5 less than 5 is false. Control comes outside of the for loop. If I say build and run, definitely we will see hello world displayed 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is how you write a for loop, guys. If you say here 10, then you see hello world displayed 10 times, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So loops are used to execute a single statement or set of statements repeatedly. I'm going to set it back to 5. If I say build and run, it displays the hello world 5 times, guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood. Let's proceed further and get more information. With respect to for loop, we need to remember some of the important notes, guys. Head of the for loop must be handled carefully so that it does not enter into an infinite loop. Initialization statement, conditional expression, and increment and decrement statements must be written carefully so that the for loop does not enter into an infinite loop, guys. For example, here I have told counter equal to 0. That's great. Here I am checking counter is less than 5. That's also okay. If I say here counter minus minus, what happens? The counter value is going to be decremented by 1, guys. It is 0. Next time it becomes minus 1. Next time it becomes minus 2. Next time it becomes minus 3. You can see that the counter value is decrementing. It is going in the negative direction. And all negative values are definitely less than 5. If you write like this for loop enters into an infinite loop, guys. It will be keep on executing, right? So head of the for loop must be handled very, very carefully, guys. Let's proceed further. Initialization, conditional expression, increment or decrement statements are optional. Initialization statement, conditional expression, and increment or decrement statements are optional, guys. You can skip any of them. For example, here I have written a code to display the hello world 5 times. You can see that here I have skipped the initialization part. In this place you can see that I have written program to display hello world 5 times. Here I have skipped the initialization part as well as increment or decrement part. I go to code blocks. I'm going to comment this. I say /* and */. If I say build and run, nothing is displayed. You can see that. I'm going to say this time int counter equal to 0. Then I say for bracket bracket, opening for bracket, closing for bracket. Here I say printf hello world \n. This time you can see that I'm skipping the initialization part. You can see already I have initialized counter to 0. I do not want to reinitialize here. So I just put semicolon here. Then I say counter less than 5 semicolon counter plus plus. This code also displays hello world 5 times. If I say build and run, you can see that we got the hello world displayed 5 times, guys. You can skip initialization statements, you can skip conditional expression, you can skip the increment or decrement part. This code also executes in the same fashion, guys. You can see that I have pasted that code here. Let me explain how this is going to be executed. Of course, when control comes here, it creates a memory location. To that memory location, it gives a name counter, puts the initial value inside it 0. Let's assume its address is #1. Then control comes to the for loop. It executes the initialization part first. Here we don't have anything in the initialization part, so control goes to the second part, that is, it checks whether counter is less than 5. Of course 0 less than 5 is true. It executes the third part, that's the body of the for loop. Printf displays hello world once. I am going to copy that and paste. Printf displays hello world and moves the cursor to the next line. And then control goes to the fourth part, that is increment or decrement part, counter plus plus. Counter variable value is incremented by 1. It is at present 0. It's going to become 1, guys. Then control goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 1 less than 5 is true. As condition is true, it executes the third part. Printf displays hello world and moves cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. Counter is going to become 2. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 2 less than 5 is true. It executes the third part, displays hello world and moves cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. Now the counter becomes 3. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 3 less than 5 is true. As it is true, it executes the third part. Printf displays hello world and moves cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to the fourth part, counter plus plus. Counter variable value is going to be incremented by 1. At present it is 3, it becomes 4, guys. Then it goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 4 less than 5 is true. It executes the third part. Printf displays hello world and moves cursor to the next line. After executing the third part, control goes to counter plus plus. Counter value becomes 5. It goes to the second part, checks the condition whether counter is less than 5. 5 less than 5 is false, guys. 5 less than 5 is false because 5 is equal to 5. As the conditional expression evaluates to false, the loop is terminated. It comes outside the for loop and executes any below statements. You can see that it is also displaying the hello world 5 times. So remember that initialization, conditional expression, increment or decrement statements are optional. If no statement is written in the head of the for loop, then it is considered as an infinite loop. If you skip the initialization statement, conditional expression as well as increment and decrement statements, it is by default an infinite loop, guys. Let me show that. I'm going to comment this code /* and I say here */. I say for opening flower bracket, closing flower bracket. Here I say printf in double quotations. I say hello world \n semicolon. Here I just put 2 semicolons. If I say build and run, you will see the hello world displayed continuously. It is an infinite loop, guys. You can see that it is keep on displaying the hello world. It is keep on executing this for loop infinitely. So this is an infinite loop. In your programs, you should never have infinite loops, guys. I hope you guys have clearly understood. Let's proceed further and get more information. Note, when do we use for loop? When we know exactly how many number of times the body of the loop is executed, we use for loop, guys. When we know exactly how many number of times set of statements are executed, we use for loop, guys. I think for this video tutorial, this much is enough, friends. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again, understand everything clearly. Try this code yourself, experiment with more examples. In the upcoming video tutorials, we are going to discuss more about looping or iterative statements in C programming language. For more benefits and be up to date, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment and share these videos with others so that everyone will get benefited. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.